All right, game 5, and we lost the die roll. We are here with Mono Green Elves. I am Cody, one of the hosts of Fish and a Merfolk podcast, and we are playing Mono Green Merfolk in Modern. And had kind of a bad run of it so far, but I feel like we've played pretty tight in the games that we've played, and unfortunately, this is just a deck that suffers from not having as high a creature density as Merfolk does, and also just not having as much interaction. So it's kind of more all in on the creature strategy. There's a Steam Vents from our opponent. An untapped Steam Vents. Hopefully not Storm. What I think is the problem with this deck is just the spells don't interact with our opponents. So in Mono Blue we have Spell Pierce. We have, Vial doesn't really interact, but and also our creatures don't interact with our opponents at all. So our creatures interact with our creatures, which is fine if our creatures are left alone. But turns out, let me sit you down and have old Cody tell you a little tale of Modern. Most people, we're playing against Storm. Most people play decks in Modern that have cards like Lightning Bolt and Path to Exile, and you are just not, you are not getting the opportunity to let your creatures sit still. Like this deck has lots of Lightning Bolts in it. We're going to play Metallic Mimic. We're going to call it a Merfolk, and we're going to pass the turn. And hopefully we get more than one turn now, because I think they can go off now. They can probably definitely go off now. Manamorphose. Whew, I'm good. So they draw a card, add 2 of any color. Manamorphose is a busted magic card. There's the Faithless Looting. If anything, they're going to get their thing in the ice, and we have nothing main board to deal with that. There's Serum Visions. Arclight Phoenix. Oh. Ugh. Well, Arclight Phoenix is a pretty strong magic card. We're taking 3. And yeah, we do want to put another counter on Aether Vial. Heroic Intervention. It's a good magic card. Oh, so we're gonna put Deep-Root Elite into play. It gets a +1/+1 counter. Then we're gonna put Jade Light Ranger into play. Do we want this over something more effective? I think we need something more effective than another Deep-Root Elite, unfortunately. We can only attack with this 3/2, and he can just block it with the thing in the ice. So what's worse is if he has just like a Serum Opts in hand, and he just flips the thing in the ice and then kills our Metallic Mimic. So that would definitely not be good. Cracking a Scalding Tarn, getting a Steam Vents. This is by far the worst Steam Vents art. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. At me on Twitter, at FishcastMTG, at NotCodySmith. I think that this is the worst Steam Vents art. Alright, so we are just taking 10 in the air each turn now. Oh. Nope, we are taking 7 in the air. But basically everything we just did was undone in moments. Bedlam Reveler. Jeez. So one other thing that we do not have with mono green Merfolk, like we did in mono blue Merfolk, was we definitely do not have Phantasmal Image. So that does stink, because copying an Awoken Horror or a Bedlam Reveler is beautiful in mono blue Merfolk. Even blue green Merfolk, I think that Phantasmal Image should be played in Tropical Merfolk. You can at me on that one. I will definitely talk about Phantasmal Image in that deck. Okay. Another forest. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play Metallic Mimic. We're gonna call it a Merfolk. Deeproot Elites. And pass the turn. And we honestly haven't seen too many hardened scales this game, or this league really. So it's kind of hard to tell if maybe running another green Merfolk would be in a better spot than hardened scales. Like hardened scales is kind of the conceit of the deck, so it's kind of hard to not run. Let's see here. Deeproot Champion. I mean, we do have a lot of deals 2 damage. Unless it was kicked. Okay, so putting the counter on it from Deeproot Elite does nothing, but we want to get the extra counter on Jade Light Ranger right now. So we're gonna flash in Jade Light Ranger, or vial in Jade Light Ranger. Put the counter on Deeproot Elite. Sure. And then Burst Lightning takes down our Metallic Mimic. Bob Thielama. So now I wonder, like, if putting Deeproot Champion in this list would do something, because Deeproot Champion, draw 2 cards and discard a card unless you attack the creature this turn, because you can attack afterwards. He's just pumping up his Bedlam Reveler. So now we have to block. Fiery Temper. Okay, he can't pay it. Arclight Phoenix. Jeez. Alright, so we're just dead. Alright, concede. Alright, so against Storm, Guttural Response, Relic of Progenitus. Hardened Scales, too slow. I'd say Heroic Intervention is too slow. At 2 mana, it's just too slow. I don't know. Blossoming Defense? Not Blossoming Defense. Shaper's Sanctuary. cutting 2 hardened scales. You know what? We're gonna go hardened scales instead of shapers. No, let's do cut the hardened scales. Okay, we're doing it. We're cutting the hardened scales. But Deeper Champion seems interesting because this deck does have enough non-creature spells. I would not keep this unless we had the collected company that you can't really see. So I will adjust that. There we go. But Deeper Champion might be worth it. Not Gilgrove Stalker. River Herald's Boon. Yeah, I think we'd be stuck with Deeproot Warrior, Deeproot Elite, Deeproot Champion, Commander Speaker, not Jungle Delver. That's a 1 mana that has a 4 mana activated ability to put a +1/+1 counter on it. We already have Jade Bearer, so like the only other one would be like Adaptive Automaton, but that costs 3. Which still gets hit by Collected Company, but I don't want to top out at 3. I don't want to go as heavy into 3 as all that. All right, 2 mana, 2 lands that are untapped from our opponent. Oh, we can't collect a company yet. Let's Jade Light Ranger. If anything, we'll still get the Explore triggers. See what our opponent's up to. Are they gonna bolt it? Oh, Burst Lightning. That's fair. We still get the triggers. I wouldn't mind it, honestly. Because we're going to be collected companying and we'll draw into the vial, so we won't hit the vial in that Manamorphose. So we won't hit the vial in our collected company. We won't hit at least 1 vial. That takes it basically is taking a non-creature out of it. So okay, so our opponent has nothing, I think. I mean, they don't have Force of Will, so. Alright, Deeper Delete and Deeper Delete. Let's get the counters going. Man, Collected Company is just such a busted Magic card. It's so good. I love me some Collected Company. There's a Bolt. Taking down one of our Deeper Deletes. There's another Bolt taking down another Deeper Delete. And what do they got for the other 2 lands here? Bedlam Reveler. Alright. Well, that does stink, but oh, okay, so we drew a land. I don't know. I think it's too late for Aether Vial, really. because then we do this, and then we put a +1/+1 counter on both of them. And hey, I mean, we're already at the point where we have so much mana. There's a thing in the ice that's very late. I'm kind of okay with that. And then they drop a land. And they don't want to run their Bedlam Reveler into our Jade Light Ranger. See, now we can just play the Vial. Put the counter there. On top of the Jade Light Ranger. So from the Jade Bear onto the Jade Light Ranger. Put a counter on the the Jade Bearer that just came into play. Our opponent is going to Fiery Temper the first Jade Bearer. I don't know. Oh, I mean, it does take a counter off Thing in the Ice. But it does put the counter on the one, so... Oh, no, I mean, that doesn't even stop it. So that has four power. Alright, so he took 6, took his medicine. Let's play another land. Alright, Bedlam Reveler. Not good for us, good for our opponent. They discard a Fiery Temper, which they can use. Yep, and they are. They're going to kill the other Jade Bearer. Let's get a Collected Company. Collected Company would be so awesome. There's an Opt, triggering both of our opponent's Bedlam Revelers, unfortunately. Unfortunate. And there's only one more ice counter on Thing in the Ice. Which I'm sure... Actually, he probably won't flip it, because then it puts both of his Bedlam Revelers back into his hands. Is it Horrors? Non-horror. Oh, those are horrors. It doesn't matter. Let's get a Collected Company. Put a counter on our Aether Vial because that's what we do. I'm not feeling it. Oh, let's make it a horror so it doesn't... it doesn't matter. We're done here. Our opponent has 1 billion mana. They're going to cast 1 instant to trigger... Yep, trigger both Bedlam Revelers and flip the Thing in the Ice. Return our creatures except for our Metallic Mimic. That was some spicy tech right there. F6. All right, so we definitely lost there. Nothing we could do really. They just had removal and creatures and geez, all the horrors. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook is at FishCastMTG. Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/FishCastMTG, where for as low as $2 a month, you can get the show ad-free and all that fun stuff. And then you can support us for free by just rating us in the Apple iTunes store. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys so much for watching and enjoying this. I may try to run a few more extra just to see how I can do this. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Have a good night.